Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my next Q&A leading up to The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 10, which is called The Next World. And spoiler warning if you're not caught up on the Walking Dead television series. So for this one, we got some great questions. I want to thank you guys for continuing to send me all the awesome questions. Probably do another one tomorrow or the next day, so keep sending me what you guys got. So the first question, which was asked by a few different people noticed this one. And this is from the beginning of episode 9. I believe it's at around 4 or 5 minutes in, something like that, around the title sequence there, where Daryl shoots, like I said, spoiler warning, shoots the savior group with the motorcycles with the rocket launcher. So this one's from Defuse. Other people asked it too, but I just grabbed the message from him because he private messages to me. He says, Trev, just wondering if you noticed the car that pulls up in the top right corner of the frame just before Daryl blows up the saviors. Maybe they are another group of them waiting as backup who just witnessed Daryl personally take out the first group, then could report back to Negan. If so, is this more proof that Negan will go for Daryl in his first appearance for revenge for his men? Thanks, man. And he's got a smiley face. So this was asked by a few people. We're going to call it, was Daryl spotted? So yeah, that's the question. You can see it in the episode. It's so subtle. It's almost like it's not even there. I mean, it's literally like maybe 3 frames or, just a couple frames of the video. Top right-hand corner, you can see that the street comes down and then there's like something, it looks like a truck or something that seems to be pulling out, or a van or something. And it's just so small and it's so quick that on first glance and standard definition watching it on TV, you definitely wouldn't notice it, especially because right afterwards, boom, he shoots them with a rocket launcher and it just goes explosions and like the head's there and Daryl and everybody, kind of go away. So if you're looking for the part, that's where it's from. So this one's tough. This is so minor that I almost want to say it looks like a production mistake to me or something. Like it looks like, but this is such a tough question to answer because they take such care and such attention with each episode with the little things they put and the things that they have enter into the frame. And the timing seems perfect that someone would go there at that time. So this is a really, really tough one. I mean, if they had an explosion go off, I don't know if they used practical for that or how they did that or everything. It looked like they had practical, some kind of explosion going off there. Don't you think they would have blocked the road off like in every which way so that nobody could just, generally enter, unless they thought that maybe it was some production crew or somebody that were inside the vicinity. See, that's why you can't really say, right? Because you don't know for sure. It could have been somebody just kind of entering it accidentally, either from the crew or something like that, or it could have been purposeful. It's so minor, it's so small that I almost think it's like a mistake or something, is what it seems like to me. But it could go either way. It'd be cool if later on this season, if we got to see maybe before an intro or something, that perspective from whoever was in there, maybe with binoculars or something watching and seeing if, like you said, like Defuse said, it may be some more of Negan's men waiting for, that group to kind of sort out what they were doing and then see the explosion and decide, oh shit, and then head off or something to tell Negan. So it makes a lot of sense, and that could be definitely something that could lead us to more of the theory on Negan possibly going after Daryl for his revenge on his dead men now, which makes it just fits perfectly. It makes perfect sense because in the comic book series, that's the reason why Negan punishes Rick and the others. He may not have done that if they hadn't have killed a bunch of his men. If Rick and the others had just gone along with Negan to begin with, he probably wouldn't have killed the character that he kills in issue 100. But in this one, instead of it being Rick and Andrea and Michonne that do the killing majority, I think it's them. They kill everybody there, I think, except for the main one. And then the main leader guy, who's pretty funny in the TV series, who calls Abraham a ginger, he he basically turns around and goes back to tell Negan, and Rick tells him to go tell him. In this situation, he's killed right away by Daryl. So if somebody saw Daryl doing that, it could make sense that Negan could want to get revenge on him. So maybe that's what it meant. Maybe that's what it was, and it was on cue. It's probably not like they could shoot that scene more than once. So, with the explosion, they got to get it ready, and then boom, they got to do it because... you want to hope that it doesn't get screwed up or something. So maybe it really could go either way. I want to see your guys' thoughts on this one. Write your comments below. So the question is, do you think it's a production mistake and somebody actually drove by either one of the crew, or do you think it was intentional? It's so minor, it's almost, I can see it go either way. Me, I'm like a 50-50. I can't say in this one. I hate to do that because I always like to give you guys an answer, but it's like, it's so small that only people watching in HD and watching really closely and carefully are going to notice it. So maybe it's a production mistake. I don't know, man. So tough to see. I hope we'll find out before the end of the season if Negan knows that Daryl was the one who killed his men. Otherwise, he wouldn't know. If nobody saw it, nobody reported back, he'd have no idea. So, we'll see. It's still a theory anyway that Daryl could be the one that Negan kills off anyway. Maybe we're totally wrong. Maybe it's not that. Somebody also said, I didn't write down your name, sorry, man, but when... Daryl gets stabbed in one of the wings. He thinks maybe that's more foreshadowing for it. I don't know, but they did point it out, and they did make sure that we paid attention to it and we saw it. And it's like getting his wings clipped or something. I don't know if something happens to the other one, then I'll start thinking that. But otherwise, I'm not sure. So next one's from Paul Monroe, and he says, "Hey Trev, love your videos. Do you think we may still see a zombie Deanna, or do you think that was just something they decided to put on the poster for those who looked close enough?" Great question from role player Paul. Because she's on the poster, right, or her stuff. You can match her attire, and everything matches down to the necklace and the watch and everything. So is she going to show up still? Maybe that's what Spencer is kind of considering, maybe putting her down or something. I don't know, but he doesn't look like he's inside Alexandria to me in the promo. So that's kind of tough to say as well, but she should still be there. I don't think anyone would have put her down. She definitely would have been bitten, and she would have been inside one of the houses. So it's very possible that she has not made her way out yet. So maybe that could be part of this episode that could make it really good, is if they include that in the intro or something, of have zombie Deanna wander out or something. That'd be great. Unless the actress didn't want to do it or something, then they may just skip over it. It might be a deleted scene or something, and maybe they didn't do it at all. But I really hope we see that. And usually when they put something in the posters and stuff and in promos, usually we see it. Sometimes they mislead us in trailers, but usually with pictures and usually with poster art like that, majority of the time they don't really mislead us too much. Not usually. So I'm hoping to see zombie Deanna this weekend. Maybe that will be the highlight of the episode. We'll see. It'd be a missed opportunity if they didn't use it, for sure. And I don't know, it could be like Sophia in the Barn type thing. Who's going to put her down type deal? That she stumbles out, half-eaten type deal. That'd be pretty brutal, but it'd be good too. We'll do a few more. Next one's from Andrew Bannan, and he says, do you think that Negan will somehow find out that Daryl killed his men and then kill him for it? This solidifies predictions that Daryl will be the one to be killed by Lucille. What are your thoughts? Well, we just finished talking about it. I included this one anyway because it's so close from Andrew. But yeah, I mean, like I said in the theory that I did on, was it Friday or so last week before the premiere, I'm really glad I got that video done, then, because we're going to be busy talking about each episode now. But yeah, the theory stands. Daryl could be the one being killed off at the end of the season. And I'm not just saying that, it really is starting to fit. It really is starting to make sense. There's even reports that maybe he's selling his house and this kind of deal. And there's some controversy about that in Atlanta. And I'm like, what? I don't even know. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I just read some stuff online about it. I don't know if, because I've seen other reports that he already sold last year or something. I don't know. It's a little bit messy. But there is a new show, Ride with Norman Reedus, listed on the wiki. So I don't know, man. I mean, he's right now. It's like, yeah, I really hope they don't kill him off. But he's big in this episode. He's going to be with Rick in the next episode, which is like, he's getting a lot of time and stuff. And it's like, what happens when characters get a lot of time on The Walking Dead? They're on death watch for sure. Next one's from Apex Cronus. And to answer your question, Andrew, I don't think it solidifies. Well, I mean, it's a good prediction, I think, because there's a lot around it. It's not just guesswork here. There's a lot of stuff to back that up right now. Check out the theory theory video if you guys missed it from my Daryl death theory for the end of the season. Check it out. Next one, Apex Cronus. He says, do you think Rick will start seeing Jesse in a white dress? Cheers from the USA. So I wanted to include this one because I wanted to kind of touch on, do I think that they're going to use Alexandra Breckenridge again, or do I think her time in the show is finished? So I'm going to say, like in a hallucination or something, or ghosting or something like that. I'm going to say for her, I think her time in the show is probably done. I don't think she should be a zombie too or something, right? Yeah, but I don't know if they're going to use her again. It'd be cool to see like all of them zombified coming back after they've cleared everybody out. The beginning of the episode starts with having to deal with zombie versions of all the characters killed off, just like the Alpha Wolf, who turned pretty damn quick, although he was shot a good number of times by Carol and then zombied. So yeah, it's understandable he died fast. So. But I'm just going to make a prediction. I think we're probably done with seeing her in the series. I think she's probably finished. It's a shame because I thought they could have used the character in the relationship with Rick a lot more, but maybe they didn't. Somebody pointed out that they actually don't do as much romance stuff in the TV series as they do in the comic book series. And usually it's the other way around. Usually television series have lots of romance in them because it's cheap to do for budget. And, especially for teenagers, that's, if you look at Smallville, for example, it's romance like all the way through. A lot of shows have that, that type of deal. But with The Walking Dead, they don't do it that much. So, I feel like maybe I'm just, maybe they should do a little bit more. But I don't know, because it depends how it looks and how it plays out. I thought it was really great at the end of season 5, the way they used her character and Peter and all that. And I thought maybe they would want to expand on that relationship between her and Rick a little bit more. But yeah, I guess they decided let's just go pedal to the metal. Let's put a faster pace on this right now for some reason this season, which I'm not going to complain about that. I love the faster pace, awesome. So it is what it is. And then we'll do like one more. This one's from Dennis Whalen, and he says, "Hey Trev, do you know that Carol wasn't the only character who was supposed to be killed off in season 3? If you guys don't know this, we talked about this in previous Q&As. They did plan on killing off Carol in season 3. They swapped it for T-Dog. Apparently somebody said that Sarah Wayne Callies had something to do with talking the writers into that. So maybe Laurie saved Carol. I don't know. You have to look into it. But he says also that Daryl was too, but the producers chickened out. Why do I get the feeling like everybody talks about this? It's like they did not know what they were doing with season 3. Like they just there was all this stuff changing and last minute rewrites and all this stuff that was going on. Then they wrote in to kill Andrea and this kind of deal. It's like, wow, man, come on. You should know this stuff. You're going to kill off such important characters. I guess at that time they were fairly new characters because it's only been a couple seasons. But I'm certainly glad they didn't kill Daryl off at that point because, having Merle and then his relationship with him and then everything's happened with Daryl since then, I'm glad he's at least stayed in until now. I hope they don't kill him off at the end of the season, but we'll see what happens, man. It's not looking good. So hopefully they don't. We'll see. Again, I'm not really giving you guys a spoiler or anything. These are just theories. These are just predictions. I could be totally wrong. You know what I mean? Like Daryl could survive and everything be fine and no issues. Sometimes he messes with us too. Norman Reedus will do things and say things just to mess with us. So that's, and they do too on the show too. They mess with us sometimes also. So yeah. So I'll call it here for today's Q&A. Keep sending me questions for next one for tomorrow or the next day, guys. I hope you liked this one. If you did, you know what to do. Same as always. Thumb it up, share, fave. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left and see my almost daily Walking Dead videos. Join in the discussion with everybody. Watch the reviews, predictions, talk about it with us, and have lots of fun. And I see they got a poll feature in YouTube now, which is great because I like to do polls and stuff. Now we can actually do one in the cards feature, which is cool. So we'll use that in the future, definitely. Daryl's still the highest voted for the end season. That's it for this video, guys. See you again tomorrow, the next day. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace.